Good morning team, how are we? I am midway through my dieting phase, which is actually kind of crazy. So I thought we could chat through any body stat changes so far. I look like an elf. I just have realised that I've just come back from a run, so potentially not the best version of myself to be bringing on camera, but we know that we're not about fancying things up for YouTube. But I do feel like my ears are sticking out today. What's that about? First of all, let me show you this really cute outfit actually. This is the Oner Active. I don't think they have really labelled this a running collection, but it's the double layered shorts and the unified bra. I've not tried anything from the unified range. The unified range I think is a little bit more performance based, cutesy gym wear. And you know what? I'm enjoying it. I have only ever loved their effortless collections, especially for bottoms. For tops, maybe I could dabble with other ranges, but generally I'm exclusively an effortless girly. Timeless, not really a fan of. Classic seamless, not really a fan of. And I just haven't delved into other collections because I just think nothing's ever going to be effortless. But this is pretty good, and I've just been for a 5K in it. And this top might seem too cutesy, not very functional. Boobies were going nowhere, let me tell you. Like, felt fine, felt secure, felt delicious, felt delightful. And this waistband wasn't sucking me in, didn't make me feel sick, didn't make me feel like I needed to shit myself on the run. Just 10 out of 10 all round. So I'll be waiting on that sponsorship deal, Oner. In fact, you don't even need to sponsor me. You don't need to pay me a penny. I don't want to see a penny from your bank. What I would love to see is every collection to my door. That would be so nice. That I will accept. But anyway, let's get into how my first 5 weeks of dieting have gone. Now, overall so far, I have lost 3.2 kg, which actually more than perfect. Generally, I would be looking for around half a kg rate of loss every single week to ensure that that's going to be not only sustainable long term, and when I have reached the end of my diet, I can maintain that weight loss, but also so that I know that I'm not just shriveling away for no reason. Like, that is actual fat loss because I am taking this slow and steady. It's more likely that that is going to be fat loss versus my muscle diminishing. We may get some dissolved muscle along the way, but generally we're trying to not allow that to happen. And because we have 5 more weeks left, that means that this kind of trajectory, we have the ability to maybe drop around 6 kg by the end of this cut, which to me is actually kind of wild. I don't know that I've really managed to do that before. I think I've only ever seen slower and lower drops than that, so I'm really happy. You've got to think that the leaner that you already are, the harder it is, especially if you're an already active person. If you're very, very sedentary, then maybe just doing 6,000 steps a day is going to be enough for you to see that rate of loss. If you're already an active person, it is going to be really, really hard or harder to see that sustained significant rate of loss. So I'm pretty damn chuffed, if I do say so myself. What we've been doing so far to get there is 12,000 steps. Now, 12,000 steps is not something that I would recommend to everybody. I don't think that that is reasonable for everybody to be able to achieve. However, for me, I know that 10,000, although maybe I wasn't hitting it bang on every single time previously, I know for me that that is reasonable for me to achieve, and I wouldn't have to put too much effort in to get there. I know that 12K steps, I'm having to put effort in to get to that number every single live long day, every single day. Outside of that, I am not doing any extra cardio other than my normal session. So I'm not doing any cardio specifically for my weight loss for extra expenditure. And that might be a tool that I utilize later on in my dieting phase. But right now, there's no Stairmaster. There's no doing 45 minutes to an hour of cardio every single day. I am just chilling with my regular training load. So my sessions are 4 gym sessions, and that is my kind of foundational sessions, I say. That's what I want to hit every single day. My secondary foundational sessions would be 4 gym sessions and 1 run. And previously I was hitting 1, maybe 2 runs per week. And recently runs have been feeling really, really hard for me. I don't know what has been going on, but I feel like I've gone straight back to square one with my running. It really, really feels horrible. So what I have incorporated instead is 1 hour steady state zone 2 cycle. So heart rate is staying nice and low. I'm purely working on my cardiovascular ability and that helping the run. The aim of that cycle is not to go balls to the wall, burn as many calories as possible, be in the highest heart rate as possible. The aim of that cycle, I feel like I said run a second ago, the aim of that cycle is to aid my running and not necessarily to aid my fat loss. Of course, it will be a little bit of extra expenditure towards my fat loss goal, but that is not the predominant reason I'm doing it. And if for whatever reason I have a really, really busy week, that will be one of the sessions that drops out because I'm just not going to have time for it. So for example, this week, today would be the day that I did my cycle, but I go away at the end of the week, so I'm not going to have time to get everything in. So I've taken those foundational sessions that I want to prioritize and I've pushed them up to the start of the week, and then anything else that is kind of extra, she's gone, she's in the bin. So I want to do 4 gym sessions, 1 run, 1 zone 2 cycle. And then outside of that, I just enjoy being active. So it might be like this week, for example, we went up to the basketball hoop and we played basketball. We played our own version of basketball, like just practicing shooting, and I don't know. It wasn't a crazy intense session. It was just running around, being children. Aim of the game is really and truly just to stay active and enjoy the process and not have it feel like it's a real chore, because taking the enjoyment out of it is just going to mean that I'm going to be less consistent, and consistency is the only thing that is going to see me to the end of these 10 weeks. In terms of measurements, let me get my thingamabobs up. I think I've actually managed to maintain quite a lot, which I'm happy about. When we want to look at progress, we want to look at progress as a whole. We don't just want to look at weight alone, although that's a really helpful tool. We do want to look at everything together. So waist, I have maintained, which I find actually kind of crazy because my waist genetically is just an area that stays quite lean. My lower belly, not so much, but my waist, she can be, but my waist is maintained. My thigh has dropped ever so slightly, nothing too crazy. My glutes, we've lost half an inch on the glutes, and I don't wish to lose any more, quite frankly, on my glutes. Please, if I could lose here, spectacular, sensational. Why has it got to be the glutes? Explain to me. This just goes to show that you cannot spot reduce fat, else I would absolutely be sending it all towards my ass and away from my arms, but here we go. I think my arms have actually reduced as well. Arms have come down half an inch as well. Stunning, spectacular. So we have a mix of maintenance and a little bit reduced here and there. Then when we come to look at pictures, you can notice a lot more leanness in my stomach and my back, especially when we come to look at our pictures. Now, going forward this weekend is one of the reasons why I actually didn't necessarily want to start this dieting phase, because I thought, well, I've got a week's holiday in the middle, what's the point? So we're going to do what we can, maintain during this time without letting it take over our brain. I'm here for memories over macros every single day, but I also enjoy being active and I also enjoy eating fresh foods when it's hot. So I feel as though I will be able to pretty much stick within my goals. I'm not going to be tracking. I'm just going to be mindful about food, mindful about ensuring I'm getting enough protein, mindful about eating a lot of fruit and veg. I will be tracking my steps because I'll have my watch, but I won't be doing any sessions as far as I'm aware, unless Mum has some boot camp prepared for us, which also does mean I don't know if I'm gonna vlog next week. I would love to, don't get me wrong. Am I confident enough to not only vlog that much in public? I don't mind that so much. I do need to get better at it, but I don't mind it so much. What I do mind is doing it in front of other people, especially your mom. Has anyone ever been judged so hard as their own parents? Not that she is overtly gonna say anything necessarily, but I just would feel like that is not appropriate to do. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to take this little camera with me and I'm hopefully going to film a few TikTok vlogs, maybe silent ones. The filming is not going to be the problem. It's the talking to camera in public, which I feel like would be a problem. So I'm already not confident to that necessarily too much by myself. So to do that in front of my mom, that would be something else. Which is so funny because I don't think she watches my YouTube necessarily, but she sees all my Instagram stuff. So she sees me talking to camera out in public because I'll post it, but I guess it's different being around it. Anyway, we do not need the majority of this video to be my own vlogging anxiety. Imagine that I get this tiny little camera so I can vlog in public, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna vlog in public. Tee. But I absolutely will do a debrief when I get home. In fact, yes, that's what my video is going to be next week. My video next week will be a debrief on how the holiday went and what kind of things I did and how much that holiday has impacted my progress. But if I'd have let the idea of this holiday stop me from even starting this process, then I wouldn't be 3 kg down. And the chances are I'm not going to put that 3 kg on holiday, because we do not have an all or nothing attitude, and I'm not suddenly going to go on holiday and eat absolutely everything in sight because I'm on holiday. It doesn't count. I'm still going to be mindful, and I'm still going to be thinking about my goals without letting it control my entire trip. And seeing how much progress I've made so far, even just halfway through, makes me so excited to see what I can do with these next 5 weeks. Have a great rest of your Sunday.